Today we're going to be talking about price control. So when the government basically gets involved to help consumers or certain groups of people in order to maximize benefit. Now when the government gets involved, it's not always perfection. There's always things that go wrong or there are unintended consequences. So again, remember back to our key assumption is every entity, person, individual, whatever it may be, is the goal is to maximize benefit and minimize your cost basically. So we're going to talk about two specific government intervention today. We're going to talk about price ceilings and price floors. So we're going to start with the price ceiling. A price ceiling is a legal maximum that you can charge. It's imposed by the government. It's a legal maximum you can charge in order to help the consumer. Basically, they're saying that the market is overcharging. So here, we're going to have a market. So let's just say we have a market for apartments. So we have the market for apartments. Now, this is the equilibrium price. Let's just say we're looking at the market for apartments. In general, on average, the price is, let's just say $1,500. At this point, this is how many people, let's say it's 10,000 people want apartments when the price is $1,500 a month. So this is our equilibrium. Now, the government would impose a price ceiling because basically what they're saying is this price is too high. You're not helping the consumers. You want to come in and you want to help consumers. So a price ceiling, I'm just going to put PC. The government's going to come in and say the maximum you can charge is, let's say $1,000. You can't charge anything above this. You can charge below it, but nothing above this. So we're just coming down here. Let's just say this is 1,000. So if you remember back to our past video, this is our price ceiling. What does this specifically create? The answer is this creates a shortage. More people want this product because the price is lower. Less individuals want to produce this product or provide this product because the price is so low. Again, that profits is a key indicator to why this is happening. So again, this is really good for individuals that can get the place. So there's a lot more people that want it for cheaper rent and less people want to supply it because of the lower price. So we call it, anytime you have a price ceiling, the overall impact is you have a shortage. More people want it, less people want to produce it. Now this is an inefficiency. You're not at equilibrium. Equilibrium is the most efficient point. Now most economists would agree that if you're at equilibrium, this is the most efficient and this is good. But having these price controls is a form of leveling the playing field or providing help to individuals that need it, that can't afford the $1,500 per month. They might be able to afford $1,000. Now there are a couple issues with rent control, which rent control is an example of a price ceiling. So I'll put that up here as well. Rent control is an example of a price ceiling. Now we call this binding. Binding meaning that it has some form of impact. If it didn't have a form of an impact, the price would be set above. So let's just say the government comes in and says the price ceiling is going to be $2,000. Would that make sense? Would you want to impose that? No, because the price of $2,000 is well above equilibrium. And this is the unintended consequence. You don't want this. You don't want to incentivize suppliers and you don't want to discourage people from moving into apartments. That's not the goal of this policy. So binding, meaning it has an impact. The only time a price ceiling has an impact is when it is below your equilibrium price. So this is binding. This up here is not binding. Again, binding just meaning that it has an impact on the market. Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about is a price floor. So we're going to look at the market for labor. So there's a couple interesting things here. When we look at price floors, we're looking at the market of labor. We have our demand, so individuals who demand labor, individuals who supply labor. So individuals who demand labor are firms. Individuals who supply are households. HH stands for households. So in this case, we have an equilibrium. This is the wage that workers are willing to work for. Let's just say this is $8 an hour. And the quantity, let's just say 100 workers want to work for $8 an hour. So in the comment section below, I want you guys to leave a comment basically saying, would you be willing to work for $8 an hour? So think of your job right now. Would you be willing to take a pay cut, pay increase, whatever it may be, for $8 an hour? Just curious to see what you guys would say. Now, for the most part, people don't want to take a pay cut. So they want to get more money, or be able to purchase more products. So in this case, when the government steps in, when we have a price floor, so PF is price floor, they're coming in and saying, this wage is not livable. We need to increase this wage. We need to be able to give our workers more, incentivize them to work more, whatever it may be. So in this case, let's say they set a price floor of $15. So at the price, or setting a price floor of $15 is meaning this is the legal minimum that you can pay your workers. So you can pay them 15 and above. So we'll draw it in. Let's just say this is 15. So this is the price floor. So this is the legal minimum. You can pay them any wage from 15 and up, nothing below 15. So this is the legal minimum that you can pay your workers, $15. Okay, so now we have these 2 points. So if you watched the last video, you should be able to identify what this is. This gap is called a surplus. Now, because we're looking at the market for labor, this surplus is called unemployment. So think about it. Households, a lot more people want to work for $15 compared to $8 because you get more money. Less firms want to hire, less people demand workers because the price is higher. Now, they demand less because when the wage increases, you have to pay workers more. Because you pay workers more, this cuts into your profits. This might cut into being able to purchase other products, whatever it may be. They demand less. Now, example of a price floor, a real life example is minimum wage. So when you increase your minimum wage, this is what's happening. Basically, you're creating this surplus, this labor surplus. Less people want to hire because basically they're paying more to their workers, making less profit, whatever it may be. And the goal of every firm is to minimize cost, maximize their profits. Now, the way you would fix the surplus is to reduce the minimum wage. Now, again, the government steps in because they want to provide this living wage to workers. Again, minimum wage is not used to live off of it for the rest of your life. The goal is to get skills with the job that you have, either move up in the company or acquire skills and move to a different industry. Again, the goal is to always progress and not just stay stagnant. Other than that, minimum wage is a good thing to have because, again, it provides a working wage for individuals. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is binding versus non-binding for a price floor. A price floor is only binding when it is above the equilibrium. So when it's above the equilibrium, this is binding. If we set a price floor of $5, think about this intuitively. Basically, this would have no impact. You could just be trading at the most efficient point, which is equilibrium. And again, this is a lower price. This isn't going to incentivize individuals to go work. It's not going to have an impact on this market specifically. So that's why when the price is set below equilibrium, and we're talking about price floors, it is non-binding. So this is non-binding. Binding meaning it has an impact on the market. Okay, so those are 2 examples we're going to go over today. That's going to be it for this video. If you guys have questions, leave a comment in the comment section. Other than that, I will see you guys next time. Thank you.